Live now. Let's see. Here we go. That's fantastic. Live now. Let's see. Here we go. That's fantastic. Okay. All right, great. So, good afternoon to everyone in attendance. My name is Sani Haqqani. I'm the State Ethics Commission's Communications Director, and I welcome everyone in attendance to this webinar, which is a live Q&A on the new Citizen Redistricting Committee. Let's see, let's jump right into it. The purpose of the webinar is really just to give folks a kind of a brief introduction to the CRC and answer any questions that are related to it in an effort to kind of give folks every encouragement they need to apply. We really wanted to make this an inclusive process, and so this webinar is a product of that. And so, just as a friendly reminder, this is a live webinar, and so folks can ask questions. I would direct them to the State Ethics Commission's YouTube channel in order to type out questions in an effort to prevent being Zoom bombed. I'll rely on questions typed out on the YouTube live chat, and I'll refer to those questions there. In addition to questions that are asked live, I'm going to just answer questions that we've received since the application period opened on April 7th. And so as far as that's concerned, I'll jump right in. So the first question, what is the CRC, or the Citizen Redistricting Committee? And the answer is that it's a newly minted body of 7 individuals, a newly minted independent body created by the recently passed Redistricting Act. The next question is, what exactly will the CRC be doing? And so the Citizen Redistricting Committee is responsible for the development and the proposal of new district plans for all of the state's offices that are subject to redistricting. And then of course, the proposal of those plans to the state legislature. So these district plans will be the result of a pretty extensive public outreach and engagement process as well, which the statute lays out, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, basically the Citizen Redistricting Committee will operate in conjunction with the decennial census every 10 years. And so under the Redistricting Act, it becomes effective on July 1st of 2021, and then August 1st of every subsequent year ending in 0. So who will the Citizen Redistricting Committee members be, or how are they appointed? And so this actually relates, this is a great question. It relates to a key feature of the Citizen Redistricting Committee, which is it's kind of multi-partisan, not just bipartisan, but multi-partisan balance. And so basically it allows for both, or the Redistricting Act provides for both major party members, so Republicans and Democrats, and non-major party members, whether they be members of minor parties or simply independent or declared a state. So as far as appointment goes, 2 members are appointed by the majority leadership in each branch of the state legislature. So the Speaker of the House appoints one, the minority floor leader of the House appoints another, the State Senate President Pro Tem appoints a member. The minority leader of the state senate appoints a member. And then 3 members of the committee are appointed by the State Ethics Commission. So the first is a chair, the chair who must be a retired justice of the New Mexico Supreme Court or a retired New Mexico Appeals Court judge. From there, there are 2 members left, and those seats are reserved for, as I said previously, members who are folks who belong to anything other than the state's 2 major political parties. So they could be members of the Libertarian Party, Independent Party, Green Party, what have you, and or simply just decline to state. And those 2 members and the chair are selected by the State Ethics Commission, which is the large or the primary reason why we're providing this webinar Q&A and have put the website, the application on the Commission's website. So moving on, what are the kind of structural requirements for the CRC as a body? And this again relates to this question of partisan balance. And so basically there can never be at any point more than 3 members of a given party on the committee. And that means in the statute is 2 years prior. So basically any member's party registration 2 years prior and up to the point of application and all the way through the committee's life cannot provide any one party more than 3 members on the committee. And so it kind of provides a natural check there to keep the committee independent and balanced. So the next question is, what are the qualification requirements for CRC applicants? And this is a good question. The first piece is that applicants must be a voter, a qualified elector and a voter in New Mexico. And then there are some kind of restrictions on applicants in terms of in the past 2 years or at the time of the application, they can't have been a public official, candidate for public office, a lobbyist, an office holder in a political party defined as a party that is qualified in accordance with the state election code, a relative in the first degree of consanguinity with a member of Congress, the state house, the state legislature, the state house, the state senate, and or the public education commission. Nor can they be an employee of formerly an employee of Congress or at the time, or the state house, state senate, or the PEC, or an employee of the state executive branch of government. And so those are the kind of limitations on who can apply in terms of their kind of previous status and conduct. So who can apply for the independent positions? Again, I think I referred to this previously, any folks who are registered up to a party or their party registration is registered other than the 2 largest parties in the state. So other than Democrat and Republican. Those are the folks who are eligible to apply in terms of party status to these non-major party positions. Of course, the other restrictions on like prior conduct, like not being a former employee of Congress and things like that also apply. So how can one apply and what information is required? So very easy. You can apply straight from the State Ethics Commission's website when you visit SEC, as in State Ethics Commission.state.nm.us. Right on the homepage, you'll see a yellow banner at the very top that says apply for the Citizen Redistricting Committee. You click on that and it will take you directly to the application page and the info page, which provides helpful information on the kind of the background on the CRC, a timeline, and then the actual application itself. And then the only other information you need to provide is your resume, which you can submit directly to the State Ethics Commission's main email, which is ethics.commission@state.nm.us. When is the deadline? This is an important one. So the deadline is actually this Friday, May 21st. So after that point, the commission will no longer be accepting applications. So Another interesting question that we received was, is there any licensure or technical experience required for applicants? And the answer is no, but applicants must be familiar with the recently passed Redistricting Act. It would also be very helpful for members to be familiar with the Federal Voting Rights Act of 1965 and relevant constitutional standards related to redistricting, and also relevant district plan development programs, such as Districtor, which is often used for the development of proposed district plans. When will the CRC begin its work? Again, this is July 1st, 2021, which is when the Redistricting Act becomes effective. Another really important question is, are members required to travel? And the answer is yes. There are statutory requirements for which provide for at least 12 public meetings that are required to take place in all 4 quadrants of the state's geographical regions. And one must be on tribal land as well. And so, and these 12 meetings are separated into kind of 2 stages. The first 6 relate to really a kind of a testimony gathering phase for the committee members to go out and listen to communities of interest, listen to folks and hear their perspectives on redistricting, and then integrate that feedback into the development of maps. And so that public feedback phase will occur over the first 6 meetings. And again, those previous points apply of taking place in all 4 geographical regions, which implies travel. And so that's the first stage. And the second stage will relate to after the committee has developed some proposed district plans, there will be a kind of approval or review set of meetings, another 6 meetings that take place over the same kind of geographical regions, and of all of the specific logistics of where the cities. These are all questions left to the committee itself, but it'll take place under the statute in that order. So 6 meetings afterwards. And of course, the public meetings will also, especially public attendance, it will basically intersect with the current public health guidance at the time, and any active public health orders, and the framework therein. So for example, the current framework is still the kind of turquoise, green, yellow, red framework, and there are basically limitations on mass gatherings, and any meetings, any public meetings will basically have to operate in accordance with that. And so the committee members will have to maintain a kind of rolling, active awareness of the kind of the public health status in each of the places where it plans to hold a public meeting, and the state's active public health guidance. And so another good question is, will the CRC be able to hire staff? And the answer is yes, staff and contractors. The legislature has also appropriated sufficient funds for the committee to do that. And so, yes. What is the projected time commitment for committee members? This is an interesting question. If any applicant is not prepared to contribute a significant amount of time, or has limitations, they should take a close look at the statute, determine for themselves what kind of time commitment would follow from the travel requirements and the kind of the technical development of maps, and determine for themselves whether or not they would be willing to or able to serve as a CRC member. Another great question is, what will the actual work consist of for CRC members? And so in the early phase, this will be issuing rules of procedure, hiring, working with the chair to hire and contract staff and contractors, deciding where public meetings will take place, the logistics for those meetings, attending public meetings, listening to the public, engaging with the public, receiving feedback, translating that feedback and testimony directly into the development of maps or the directions that are given to staff for the development of maps, working with contractors in actually developing the maps, the district plans, and then the actual adoption, of the district plans themselves and the proposal thereof to the state legislature. That's the bulk of the work, at least from the list view level. How many district plans will the CRC have to propose? So the answer is 3 for each entity, and there are 4 entities, four offices that are subject to redistricting. And so the state's congressional districts, state legislature, state house, and the Public Education Commission. And so that means for a total of 12 proposed district plans. And those are, of course, statewide district plans. Each one of those is an individual district plan that shows a proposal for the whole state. What are the committee members' responsibilities after the district plans are submitted to the legislature? The short answer is no, or nothing really. There are no responsibilities once the committee provides the district plans to the state legislature. The committee members' work is done. And the final question that we received quite a bit was, are members paid or eligible for per diem and mileage? The answer is that they're not paid, but they're eligible for per diem and mileage. And so that will help defray the cost or the burdens of the traveling associated with CRC member service. And so with that, I see no other questions. And so with that, if you're watching this webinar after the fact and a question pops up for you, feel free to, again, email ethics.commission@state.nm.us, and a staff member will get back to you. And again, we encourage anyone and everyone to apply. The application is on the commission's website. We've already received over 50 applications. So it's a solid body of folks, but it's important work, and we really wanted to encourage that as many folks as possible apply for the process. So please do, and of course feel free to reach out if you have any other questions related to the process. Thank you so much, and